a Drone Clone Experts Incorporated production instruction video demonstrating the latest and greatest Limitless 4 drone equipped with obstacle avoidance, a 3-axis gimbal, 4K Ultra HD camera, GPS, and so much more. Please study the transmitter's functions and pause video now if needed. Prepare for flight. Remove the camera cover and insert the obstacle avoidance sensor. Obstacle avoidance is a nice safety feature, but just keep in mind you can always fly without it installed. Please always remember to remove the protective cover from the camera. If it's not removed before the drone is turned on, you can permanently damage the gimbal. Also, when choosing to use the obstacle avoider, always make sure it's either installed or removed when the drone is off. Otherwise, you'll damage the sensor. Lastly, never touch the camera gimbal or the obstacle avoidance sensor while the drone is on. To ensure proper connection between the remote and the drone, always remember to turn the remote on first before turning on the drone. So first, turn the remote on by sliding the side button on the remote. You'll notice it will say Mode 0 on the display. Next, turn the drone on by holding down the battery button until the drone beeps and lights begin to flash. It takes about 30 to 40 seconds for the drone and remote to sync to each other. You'll know they're connected once Mode 0 changes to Mode 1 on the remote. Just a quick reminder that the on switch is located on the right-hand side of the remote, so it's not in the center of the remote like you may be used to. This next part shows how to calibrate your drone by using the remote control. However, we strongly suggest you calibrate using the Limitless 4 app on your smartphone instead because most find it easier. All GPS drones need to be calibrated properly before taking your first flight, but should only need to be calibrated again if it suffers a crash or you notice it not flying normal. Pay close attention to how the drone was spun 3 times horizontally and now 3 times vertically. Now correct the gimbal by holding the speed button down on the remote for 5 seconds until you hear a beep. Lights will begin to flash quickly and then turn solid once it's done. Here's how to calibrate using the Limitless 4 app like we suggest. For calibration, press Prepare to Fly. Then press Calibration. You'll then follow the on-screen prompts, which we'll demonstrate for you here. Notice how the drone is spun 3 times horizontally until you hear a beep. And then 3 times vertically until you hear another beep. Whether you rotate the drone clockwise or counterclockwise doesn't matter. Either way is fine. You'll then be brought to the next screen to calibrate the gimbal. So press calibration again and wait for it to bring you to the live video feed. Once calibration is complete, the drone will begin searching for GPS satellites on its own. Notice on the remote's display, the number of satellites keeps rising. Once you gain over 8 to 10 satellites, you'll enter GPS mode, which means the signal is now strong enough to take flight with GPS activated. Please be careful never to fly out of GPS mode. Otherwise, the return to home failsafes won't work. This is very important to ensure you never lose your drone. Connecting to your drone's built-in Wi-Fi network. Go to your phone's Wi-Fi settings. Choose the network that starts with XLRTS as shown here. It may say no internet, which is correct because we're only using it for Wi-Fi, not internet. Now exit that screen and open the Limitless 4 app, which you should have already downloaded from your phone's app store. If you don't have the Limitless 4 app yet, that's fine. Just download it now before going any further. Here's what it looks like in your phone's app store. Use the phone holder on the remote and use the extenders if necessary. Aircraft unlocking. To unlock the aircraft and start the propellers, simply push the joysticks down and to the right or down and to the left. You can also unlock it within the app as shown here. Once motors are unlocked, propellers will spin until you attempt to take flight. If no flight attempt is made within 5 seconds, the motors will stop for safety reasons and to conserve battery. If this happens, just unlock the drone again and take flight within that 5-second frame. If you have over 8 satellites showing on your display, but you're still unable to take flight with the motors unlocked, don't worry. It just means that you didn't calibrate the drone correctly. So rewatch the calibration section of this video and follow the commands. Basic operation. 1 key takeoff. 1 key landing. Increase and decrease altitude. Turn left and right. Fly forwards, backwards, and to either side. Switch between high and low speed settings. Activate headless mode. Adjust the camera angle up and down using the trigger buttons located on the back side of the remote, or use the app as shown here. The highlighted triangle is the automatic takeoff key. If you try taking off without first unlocking the drone, it will remind you to do so. Press unlock and proceed to use the 1 key takeoff. Using the new obstacle avoidance feature. Like all drones, obstacle avoidance works best in the slow speed setting. Once you crank the speed up, it will still alert you, but may not be able to stop in time to avoid a crash like it does in the slow speed setting. This is what you'll experience when approaching an object. To take a picture, press the camera icon on the remote or the app. To take a video, press the video button on the remote or the app. All photos and video will be instantly saved to your smartphone's photo album. Or if you have a micro SD card installed, it will be stored on there as well. This drone has an upgraded card capacity of 128 gigabytes, so any card of 128 or less will work. Since Limitless 4 has a high-resolution 4K camera, you'll want a card that's able to read and write data at super fast speeds. So make sure the speed rating for your card is class 10 or greater. If interested in purchasing a card from us, our cards are 32 gigabytes and are specifically designed for use in this Limitless 4 edition to provide the highest resolution photos and video. This card and all other accessories